The Extraordinary Rendition of Janos Farkas, Chapter 30. Her resolve to be calm crumbled, and she came out of it yelling. No, she didn't take a number. No, she wasn't going to sit down and wait. And no, she didn't give a shit about creating an atmosphere. People were nervously fidgeting, embarrassed to be part of the scene. Ayn went over to the number machine and hit it as hard as she could. Hit it until numbers spewed out like some bingo machine gone mad. She picked some up. I have a number, she yelled at the woman at the counter. What bloody number do you want? I've got lots of them. She felt hands on her arms. There was a Marine on either side of her. Almost lifting her off her feet, they marched her down a corridor and into a vacant office. She was out of yelling now, out of tantrums and screaming. She had made the scene she wanted to make and knew she would get attention. It came in a matter of minutes. There was a knock on the door and it opened. It was a woman no older than Ayn. Miss Thompson, she said, my name is Clark. Brenda Clark. I'm Mr. Wright's new assistant. He can see you now if you'd like. I thought someone named Paul was Wright's assistant. He is, or rather was. Today's his last day. I'm taking over. When they got to Wright's office, Paul was just leaving. He looked at Ayn and opened his mouth as if to say something, then quickly looked away. Ayn wished he wasn't wearing sunglasses so she could read something from his look. Wright did not look pleased to see her. Miss Thompson, he said, I was hoping I would not see you again. I was hoping that you would have given up on this silliness and decided to return home. That is the advice I have for you today. I will not leave Germany without finding my husband. Yes, your husband, Janos Farkas. That is, if he is your husband. There is no registration, no record of a Janos Farkas and a Miss Ayn Thompson being married. I don't know what your game is, but you're right about one thing. Your so-called husband is a person of interest. He is of interest to us and to many others. But he should not, and I repeat, not be of interest to you. Why you got involved with him, I will never know. He is not one of us. He is not of our kind. He does not share our beliefs. He is not with us. He is against us. Do you understand? Ayn glared at him. His acrimonious little lecture had taken her by surprise, but she had not entered the role of Janos Farkas's wife without knowing she would have to fight. She put both hands on his desk and leaned over, doing her best to tower above him. Consular officials cannot investigate crimes, provide legal advice, or represent citizens in court, she said, almost spitting the words at him. Do you know those words? They're in your brochure. But what's not in your brochure is that consular officials can't seem to do anything. They're a bloody waste of space. I came here for help, and what do I get? Nothing. I get you. A waste of bloody space. I'm an American citizen, and if I don't get help, I'm going to raise hell over this. I'm going to the media. You're not going to do anything, Miss Thompson, Wright said, interrupting her. What you're going to do is get out of Germany. Go back to America. If you so much as breathe a word of this to the media, I shall have your passport revoked. You will be put on a military plane and deported. Do you understand? But I don't want to have to go that far. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and leave it up to you to leave on your own accord. I've already told you I'm not going anywhere without my husband. You have no husband, Miss Thompson. How long will it take you to clean things up here and leave? No more than a few hours, I should think. But I'll be generous. I'll give you 48 hours to leave. And what if I don't? Then I will find you, take your passport, and forcibly put you on a plane. That's kidnapping. I don't think the Germans would mind. They've already had to forcibly deal with their own little inconvenience. Brüller. He was confirming his knowledge of Brüller. How many people were involved in this game? Her mouth went dry. How many people, and she was alone? There was no one to turn to. She was Janos Farkas's wife. She was on her own. I would like to thank you for all your help, she said, sarcastically adding, asshole. Ayn walked out into the bright morning sunlight. It should be a rainy day, she said to herself, or at least a cloudy, Cloudy day, a day of change, not bright and sunny. Gisela and Turk were waiting for her at the nearby cafe, and she walked slowly, wondering what to tell them. There had to be a next step, she knew that. The game didn't end here, the game only started here. What was the next step? What was she going to do? She needed time to plan, time to think before she got to them. Next. What was next? Sitting on one of the backless benches in the Plaisir Pats, she closed her eyes. Next. What was next? Blank. Suddenly, she could feel the presence of a body sitting down beside her. A voice said, "Don't look at me. Don't let it be seen that I am talking to you. If it were known that I was talking to you, I could be in deep shit. I might even lose my job." Ayn opened her eyes but didn't look. She didn't need to. It was the voice of Paul James, Wright's ex-assistant. He was on the opposite side of the bench, facing away from her. "I know what happened to your husband," he said. "What?" she asked. "Do you know what a rendition is?" "Yes," she answered. "That's the second time I've been asked that." "Is that what happened?" "Yes," he replied. "Who?" "Our government." "Our government?" "Yes, the Germans went along with it." "Why?" she asked. "I don't honestly know. I found his file, looked through it. It was in Wright's office. There was nothing in it that I could see. I mean, nothing to treat him like we've done. I know sometimes it's necessary. Some people don't play by the same rules we do, but I don't think it's something America should be proud of. I mean, us not playing by the rules either. It makes us as bad as them." "Where has he been taken to?" "Damascus. I only know that because that is my new posting. I guess they thought I should know." "Can you do anything to get him out when you're there? I mean, help him? Maybe help him get out?" "I don't think so," he replied. "I'm not high enough up. That would have to come from someone even higher than Wright. I'll try and find out what I can, though, if I can." "What can I do?" "Nothing. There's nothing you can do. Incidentally, Miss Thompson, you were right about one thing." "What's that?" "Right. He is an asshole." She felt the bench ease as he stood up. "Down to my right," he said, "there are two people watching us. They are coming our way. Look, but don't make it too obvious. Do you know who they are?" "Yes," Ayn replied. "It's Janos' sister and her friend." "Shit," he said. "I hope no one is looking out the embassy windows at me." When Gisela and Turk got to her, she didn't wait for their questions. "I'm leaving Germany," she said to them. "Where are you going?" Gisela asked. "Damascus," Ayn replied. "I have a cousin in Damascus," Turk said. "Abdullah. He's a guard at a prison there." That's the end of chapter 30. Tomorrow, chapter 31.